All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
excited.
children of all ages. Are you ready for this? KG, hit me with a little beat.
I got you.
Braylon, Maz, Spivak, KG.
Good
Yes,
luck,
sir.
man.
Buckle up.
Here we go. Buckle up.
Yeah.
Game-by-game predictions for the Detroit Lions. I have gone back and forth in this game. I think this is the most pivotal game in the Lions season, the opener against the Rams. And I've got them winning that game. I've got them with a W. Okay. And I did not do that lightly. I just believe that this team at home is going to make a play down the stretch to win the game. I
Damn
think it's
right.
going to be close. I don't know if they're going to cover it, but they could win by 1 or 2. I got them winning that game.
Yep.
I've got them winning the second game against the Bucs. This game also is a very difficult one. I believe in the Arizona Cardinals this year, but I've got them going on the road and winning at Arizona. Coming back home on Monday Night Football, beating the Seahawks 4-0 at the bye. When you sit down and look at this schedule, and Maz, you had touched on it a little bit. When you just look, roster for roster, quarterback for quarterback, team for team, playmaker for playmaker, it is really hard to sit there and pick against the Detroit Lions. If healthy, I do believe they can win or should win almost every game they play. Forget about could win,
Right.
should win almost every game they play.
I think they'll be favored in most games.
Yeah.
And at worst, a 3 or 4 point underdog to any
Max.
team on there.
Right.
Max.
Injuries
That
notwithstanding.
means you could win every game.
I do have them losing
I
at
don't like this
Dallas
one.
after the bye.
I don't like that one.
The only reason I have them losing at Dallas after the bye, well, there's two. One, I don't believe they're going to go 17-0.
Correct.
Right.
And two, until they actually win a game at Dallas, I cannot in good conscience say they're going to win a game at Dallas.
I hear you.
So that's that. I believe they're going to beat the Vikings in Minnesota. Then come home. This is another tough game for me. I like the Titans this year. I absolutely do. I'm one of the few, but I like the Titans this year. They'll win that game. And then at Green Bay, this is one that's going to set the tone for the second half of the season and perhaps the playoffs, and potentially could be playing for home field advantage. They beat the Packers. So first half of the season, 7-1.
Yeah.
7-1. I've got them losing at Houston. I think Houston's a good team, but I think they're going to fall back a little bit this year, Houston. I really do. Nonetheless, losing the game at Houston. I think that's a nationally televised game, the game at Houston. Maybe
Yeah, it
even a
is.
Monday Night Football game, perhaps.
It is.
Got them beating the Jags. I've got them losing to the Indianapolis Colts. I really like Indy this year. Indianapolis was a 4th down and 2 drop away from winning the division, and Houston not even making the playoffs. So I like Indy this year. Bears, Packers, back-to-back wins in the division. The game against the Bills, Week 15, win. You go to Chicago, win. I've got them losing at San Francisco. I didn't like to do this. I think they'll want some retribution for last year. They've proven that they can win, they've proven that they can play good football there, at least for 30 minutes. I've got them losing this game too, and then coming back home and beating the Vikings. I could not give them 14 wins. 13 is as high as they could go, and I think this is their ceiling. I've got the Detroit Lions winning 13 games, 13-4 this season. Gentlemen,
I don't have a problem with it. Look, I wrote some notes down as you were talking. 13-4, that's actually what I had last year, and I was off by 1, so it very, very is possible. You look at the schedule, you look how it lines up. You said it, roster by roster, the Lions are better than pretty much every team they're going to play this year, with the exception of maybe one. So it's very fair to say that. Man, as I look back at the 2010 season when I was with the Jets, we went 11-5.
Yep.
We lost games in which we were better than the other team, though. We lost to the Packers 0-9. We were better than the Packers at that time. We just couldn't put the ball in the end zone. Baltimore, opening night, we were better than Baltimore. We lost 9-10. We lost to the Dolphins that didn't even make the playoffs that year. But just the team and looking at the matchup doesn't tell the story. The Dolphins and the Jets have a rivalry.
Yeah.
The Vikings and the Lions, the Bears and the Lions, you never know the storyline. So 13-4 is possible. 15-2 is possible. But once you just start to look at the things, there are going to be some traps here and there. 13-4 is very possible.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the games that you have lost. I think we all have the 49ers. We all had the Colts. We all had the Texans, which means they're probably going to win those games.
That'll be good.
Right.
Now it'd be good, but Cowboys is the only game and I understand all the reason. Cowboys is the one game on the schedule that next to, because I don't think the Lions care about the Rams. Now let me say it like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to start an uproar with the Rams. They beat the Rams. You're not looking at it like that. The Dallas Cowboys are a team that I think is circled on the Lions schedule, Dan Campbell's schedule, all the players' schedule, and all the fans' schedule. That's the one I think that they're not going to lose that game.
And they're coming off the bye for that one. So Braylon had 11 wins. I had 12. You had 13. If they win any of those, I'm happy with that season.
13, they're the number 1 seed in the NFL. 12,
they might win the division.
Number 2, and 11, they'll be a division winner, but maybe 4th seed.
Right, exactly.
KG. Sorry, man.
No, it's okay.
I love the list.
It's all right. I think you did really well. Like I said, I think they're going to beat the Cowboys.
How
I
good
do.
are the Colts going to be this year?
But it's hard. We all picked against the Colts, right? We all picked them to lose.
Yeah.
And people are on a check. Colts, Colts. They're 55 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. But you got to pick a loss.
Yeah.
You can't. They're not the 72 Dolphins, guys.
Right.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose some games. So pick your poison.
Yeah.
Which games do you pick that they're gonna lose? Are they gonna sweep the Bears? That's tough. Are they gonna sweep the Packers? That's tough. Other than that, Ryan, I'm waiting to see how far you got them going.
KG, Pete, you want to weigh in?
Nah, this is great. The only loss I disagree with is the Cowboys loss, but this is right around where I got the Lions too. So.
Ryan, I do like your list. I think that 7-1 to start the season is probably correct. The only thing I'm concerned about, like you, are the Titans. I think that Titans game is going to be more. The Titans, to me, are going to be like a second half ball club this year. I watch for them late in games coming back and ruining your spread or leads late. And I think that on the back end. Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Ryan. Aside from the Titans game could be a toss-up.
You gotta stop buying that Ermanni digest.
Hey, you
gotta stop buying
he knows his stuff, man.
You guys in these Titans.
All right, here we go. Let me do the NFC. NFC
All right,
predictions on the heels of the Lions season totals. With the 13 wins, I have the Lions with the number 1 seed in the NFC. I have Atlanta winning the South. I think Atlanta, if you look at their schedule this year, it is a cupcake schedule. I've got them as the 2 seed, okay?
The South is begging to be won by somebody.
The Philadelphia Eagles, I've got them winning the East.
I see you with the Rams on there.
And then the Los Angeles Rams are going to win the NFC West. That team, to me, is a really good football team. You could swap out LA and Philadelphia 3 and 4. That's going to be really tough. I think both of those teams are going to win somewhere around 11 or 12 games. I think that's what's looking good. And then you look at the wild cards, guys.
3.
Here they are.
Yep.
The San Francisco 49ers, I have as a wild card. Green Bay and Chicago. I think I have come around on Chicago a little bit here because, again, as you sit and look at the schedules and as you sit and look at these playoff teams, I mean, I've gone through this, and the team that I struggled with the most when it came to that 7th wild card was the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with Tampa Bay, and what am I going to do with Arizona? I really like the Cardinals this year. I think Kyler Murray is going to have a really, really good year and keep that Arizona Cardinals team in the hunt, as we like to say, for a long time. So Arizona was a team for me. Tampa Bay was a team for me. And if you want to, just out of respect, Washington, the Commanders, the football team, those, I think it's fair to say that Washington, Chicago, Arizona, and Tampa Bay, based on my division winners, one of those 4 teams is going to get that final playoff berth, to me.
We all have the same teams. I know Braylon changed the Falcons to the Bucks, but other than that, we got the same teams in the NFC. We really do. They're all there.
The NFC this year will be like it did 2 years ago. The NFC, remember the AFC came out, the NFC was supposed to be weak. 2 years ago, the NFC actually being the stronger conference last year, 2 years ago. I think that's how it's going to be this year. I don't know necessarily stronger, but I think the NFC is going to be a lot better than people think. And I think those decisions on that 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th spot are going to come down to the end. But the Rams, I love that pick, Ryan. I'm telling you like this. Matt LaFleur, Ben Johnson are the only two people that scare Kyle Shanahan. They're the only two people to play. You know who gets to see him twice a year, though? It's his best friend, Sean McVay. Sean McVay knows how to beat Kyle Shanahan. It's the only scare to him in that division. And I think this is the year that they take that stance. They haven't had that congruency, a lot of bumpy roads, a lot of distractions. We'll see who that team is, but I think the Rams are a team in the NFC West.
And, of course, the Lions over the Green Bay Packers. I do believe you're going to see the Lions in New Orleans in the Super Bowl. On the AFC side, division winners, Kansas City, Baltimore, New York Jets, and Indianapolis Colts. I have the Colts winning the division this year behind Anthony Richardson.
Yeah,
that player, you
AFC.
forget how good he was early on when he wasn't, before he got injured. That team was on its way to win that division. I think the Jets are going to win the East. Look, that defense last year, they had no quarterback. Okay, think of the worst offense in the history of the league. Yeah. And they won 7 games.
The 08 Lions.
Okay? Think of the worst offense in the history of the league. They couldn't I don't think in 14 games they scored less than 20 points.
Yeah.
You think Aaron Rodgers can get them to 20? If Aaron Rodgers can get them to 20, the Jets are going to win 12 games, 11 games.
I hear you. It's just about him staying healthy.
It's just about him staying healthy.
That'll be awesome.
Absolutely. So those are my 4 wild card teams. My 4 division winners. Cincinnati, Houston, and the LA Chargers.
Okay.
The
Harbaugh,
wild
first year.
cards.
So you threw out the Dolphins.
I threw out the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to take a step back. I almost threw out the Texans.
Wow. That's crazy.
I think the
That's a
Texans
strong
are
one.
going to take a step back this year.
They got better.
I do. I understand.
They got better.
Okay.
I understand. Again, I just feel to have a natural very few teams just have this linear path up without any sort of step back.
Yeah.
Okay?
The Lions technically.
But you know the ones that do, when they get it right, as you always tell me, they got the quarterback and the offensive coordinator.
That's right. There's no doubt about it. So we'll see. I did put him in.
You did.
All that being said, I did put him in.
Yeah.
And no Buffalo either.
No Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
And no Cowboys prior in the NFC.
They out of
None
there.
of us have the Cowboys. None of us
Two
have
frauds you just named.
Good.
I don't have Cleveland in as well.
That's right, my Browns.
So
Deshaun Watson year.
that's where I stand. And Jets over Kansas City, much like Tom Brady.
There will be no three-peat.
Right. Well, again, this is a history thing for me, really. It's never happened in the history of the league, a three-peat.
Right.
So, again, kind of like the Lions winning a game at Dallas, until I see a three-peat, I can't say that there's going to be a three-peat.
Yeah.
So I've got Aaron Rodgers and the Jets over Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes.
So you basically have my nightmare Super Bowl.
The Lions
I can't wait.
and the Jets in the Super Bowl, and I have the Lions
You darn right.
winning, beating Aaron Rodgers,
This would be poetic.
sending him packing goodbye.
Yes.
Will Kirby Joseph have an interception?
Again.
Yeah. It's for the second time.
Right?
I'll tell you this now. If this is the
Lions, baby!
Yeah.
If this is the Super Bowl, unfortunately, y'all know where y'all know what
That's
side
cool.
I am.
Absolutely. They
That's
pay
cool.
you still.
I know what you're
Right.
doing.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Whoever's paying you,
I'm
that's
still
who
a
you
paid
root for.
employee.
Right.
You'll be in New Orleans.
It's gonna
Right.
be fun. The Big Easy. My nickname is Be Easy, so
Yeah.
there it is.
If it was Lions Browns, we know where you stand.
Braylon,
so.
please.
Lions.
Yeah, we
Braylon.
know that.
Lions.
We know that.
Please tell Brittany you're taking me. Please.
I'm gonna tell it now. You heard that.
Please.
Tom Masway already put his bid
Thank
in for
you.
the Super Bowl. So
Sorry.
just had to-
Sorry, Britt.
Sorry, Brady.
What are you,
Maz
Newman?
put it out there, man. Maz, you move fast.
That's
I have
fantastic,
to. I have
man.
to.
That
Yep.
is so great. But yeah, I've got the Lions winning the Super Bowl. I would be very disappointed if they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. I'll tell you, Bray, you asked me in the last segment, I tried to just downplay it a little bit in advance of my predictions.
Okay.
I think I would be very disappointed with the year if they did not make the Super Bowl because of how everything sets up for them. You know, I mean, Jordan Love, a second-year guy. I do think there are problems in Philadelphia with that offensive line, with that coach. I just don't think they've got the right coach.
I don't like him.
I think Atlanta is still a year away, perhaps, from being a really special team. They're a good team, but are they a special team? I think there's some time there. So look, I mean, it's one of those instances where you've got to strike while the iron is hot, and the iron is hot in Detroit.
The good thing about it, Maz, KGP, is it's not just picking a team because you're in the city.
Yeah.
Like picking the Lions to win the Super Bowl isn't just because, we're Detroiters, we're cheering for the Lions. No, we've watched the process. We've watched what they've done from 2021 to last season, to the offseason of this, to the offseason of after last season, to this game, to this point, the moves that they made and how they've done it. It's a real deal. To pick them to win the Super Bowl, it's not biasness. It's the truth. You look at everybody, look at all the outlets. Like, they have everything that they need to potentially win the Super Bowl. And if they don't, they left themselves $38 million to make a move at the trade deadline.
Right.
So I think in every facet of what you need to do, where you need to be at to start the season to win the Super Bowl, the Lions are ahead of schedule.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.